Hello, this is Ken Wolf, Artistic Director of Manhattan Repertory Theater, and I'm here with our podcast series. Today I'm interviewing Pamela Robbins, the author of The Mourners, which is going up at Manhattan Repertory Theater Wednesday, July 29th, Thursday, July 30th, and Friday, July 31st at 7 p.m. I am as thrilled as punch to talk with Pamela today. And so how are you today, Pamela?
Oh, I'm great.
Great. Tell me a little about The Mourners. What's it all about, and why would we like to come see it?
Well, The Mourners is a comedy about people at a funeral. They're at a memorial service, and most of them do not want to be there. The woman who died was extremely difficult, and most of them worked for her, so they're there mostly out of obligation. And they're very different people, different personality types, and they don't expect to be there long, but with one thing and another, they get stranded there, and they're forced to spend time in each other's company and talk about each other and about this woman who died.
Interesting. So how did you get the idea for this play? It sounds wonderfully dark. It reminds me sort of like 6 Feet Under-esque. How did you get the idea to do this play?
Other sitcoms, basically. There are lots of funny sitcom pieces about people delivering eulogies, and they either didn't know the person or they didn't care for the person, and they have a hard time finding good things to say. And people at a function who may or may not belong there or may not be there for the reasons that they give for being there.
Interesting. What are some of the challenges of putting this piece together? Because you're kind of dealing with death and funerals and that, and it's a comedy. And what are the challenges some of the actors are experiencing, and you as a writer, what have you been experiencing?
Well, the actors are doing very well with it. I admire their dexterity greatly, because it's not easy as a performer or a writer with this kind of piece to strike a balance between darkness and irreverence. You don't want to overdo either one. So to make it lighthearted but also serious enough to be part of a memorial, you have to hit this balance, and they're doing it just beautifully. For me as a writer, there was the same thing, how dark to make it, how lighthearted to make it. And at first I made it kind of silly, and I had to go back and change a few things so that there was a message, but it wasn't too dark or light.
Interesting. So how do you moderate that? Like, what is it, 60-40 dark light or 50-50? Or what's the ingredients for the, like, if it is a comedy?
Yes.
But how do you do that as a playwright? How do you know what's right?
It's kind of like creating your own recipe. It's a little hard to explain to someone how do you, some cooks that invent their own recipe say, well, I put the ingredients in until they feel right. And that's about what I do. Until they look right and sound right, because I'm also a performer, so I picture this being performed and how would it feel to be the actors. So when all that just sounds right and looks right in my mind's eye, then it's ready to go. But it takes some doing to get it there.
Interesting. So why would people want to come see this play? I mean, what is the ultimate reason that people would want to come see this play?
It's original. It's unusual. You don't find too many stories about memorials that are actually funny and still have a message.
Interesting. Now, is there a body in a casket?
No, there is not. There is, however, an urn.
Oh, there's an urn.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Wow, there's a lot of possibilities with an urn and ashes.
Well, thank you.
This is a question I always ask everybody in the podcasts, and I love it. It's sort of my James Lipton question. What is most important to you about theater?
My goodness, what a question. Well, great question. To me, the most important thing about the theater as a performer or a writer is to create truthful characters with a message and to delight your audience.
Cool. So do you think that people will be delighted by The Mourners?
I absolutely do.
Great. Okay, so please come check out The Mourners by Pamela Robbins at Manhattan Repertory Theater. Wednesday, July 29th, Thursday, July 30th, Friday, July 31st at 7 p.m. For ticket reservations, please call 646-329-6588. I am so thrilled and excited. I'm really looking forward to seeing this play. Thank you so much for the interview, Pamela, and good luck with it.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you very much.